Hey everybody, it's Judy and welcome to the More Than Enough Women's Circle. This is my first Facebook Live to this group and I'm so excited to be here with you. And today we're going to be talking about inner alignment. So if you're struggling with that connection from your head to your heart to your body, and really having an alignment, feeling like you're in that place of just in the flow, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So before we do that, I just want to see if all of you can hear me, if you can just give me a little message to let me know that you're here. I'm just going to wait a minute or two. And while I'm waiting, I'm actually going to let you know that there's an opportunity that you have. If you actually want to sign up for my weekly emails, you actually get first look at all of this great content, and you'll be able to get some notes from me as well as other roadmaps and checklists, etc. So feel free to message me below and I'll show you how to sign up for the email list so that you can get that information. So let's dive right in because I really want to help you get that inner alignment. We're going to be talking about what inner alignment is, how I define it, what it is and what it isn't, as well as how to get it. So let me start off, first off, and just give you a sense as to the way I see inner alignment. It has to do with your head, your heart and soul, as well as your body. So let me give you a visual in terms of how I look at it, right? So it's mind, body, and soul. So you may be familiar with this picture. If you do yoga, it's the chakra system. So for this talk, it's not necessary for you to know what the chakras are, but it's just an important thing to notice that, you know, we have an upper triangle, which is all about our mind, and our mind wants us to ask the question, what? Then we have the lower triangle, which is the body that really wants to know the how, or enacts the how. And, you know, the center point where the mind and the body meet is the heart and the soul, and that asks the question, why? So now that you've seen that, let me just go through a little bit about what I mean by inner alignment based on those three things. So if you have your mind, body, and soul in alignment, you are in the flow because your mind understands what the picture of success is. So you're able to ask yourself those questions. What does success look like? How am I going to know when I get there? So when your mind is engaged in this alignment process, you're able to articulate really easily, okay, my goal is to achieve, a 40-hour work week, right? So that could actually be your goal. And then when you look at your heart and your soul ask the question, why? Why is this important to me? Why do I want to do this? So if you engage your heart in this alignment, it's knowing your purpose, being able to articulate, why is this goal important to me? Why do I only want to work 40 hours a week? Well, it could be that I'm working 65 hours a week and I'm really burnt out and I'm not happy and I'm bitchy and really not in a good place. So there could be some real juice there in terms of why this is important to you. So think about, why is your goal important to you? Then the third step is looking at the lower triangle. That's when you start thinking about the how. What are the steps that I'm going to take in order to get into alignment? Like, what needs to be in alignment? What are the steps? Do I know what the action steps are? Am I educated? Do I understand what has to be achieved? So when all these three levels are in alignment, that is what we call the inner alignment flow. But what inner alignment is it? Okay, so let me go there now. What inner alignment is not that racing in your mind and your ego judging things as right or wrong or good or bad. It's also not second guessing yourself, getting too far ahead of yourself in the future, or worrying about what's happened in the past and thinking that because something happened in the past, that it's going to happen in your future. So that's also what inner alignment is not. And you also know when you're out of alignment, right? You're not sleeping well, you're irritable, and I even call it being in the grip. It's like you're not yourself, and other people notice it. Sometimes you're the last person to notice, but other people definitely notice it before you do. So that's what I mean by what inner alignment isn't. So let me tell you a quick story about someone that I worked with in a leadership program that I was running a few weeks ago. And her name, let's call her Juliet. Juliet is a marketing communications specialist, and she is working at a huge Fortune 500 company. And she really had a clear vision in terms of what she wanted. So she had a real clear vision of how she wanted to reorganize her department and her area so that marketing communications was really, really aligned with the mission of the organization, and that it was really adding value on so many different levels. So, check mark there. Her mind was really in alignment. In terms of her purpose, her why, right, her heart and her soul, she really understood the reason why is because she wanted to have that feeling of growing the organization, contributing to something larger than herself, and really being able to feel like she was making a difference. So that was her big why. That was why she was engaged in this goal. And then the steps is where she got out of alignment. Because what she was trying to do is she was trying to do it all herself. Because she didn't want her peers to know that she was feeling a little incompetent, feeling a little bit like she wasn't sure about every step that she was taking. And that's where she was out of alignment. So in part of the coaching and the leadership training that we were doing, the wonderful piece here is that she was able to get alignment by realizing, by engaging her peers and actually going to a state of vulnerability and being able to ask for help, ask other people for the areas where she was really strong to be able to engage them in helping her achieve her goal. So that helped her out in many, many ways. It increased her connection with the people that she worked with. She was also really building relationships, building that foundation. So when you think about having the mind, body, and soul in alignment, it really is the most effective way to get things done in your life. And therefore, you're not working as hard, right? You can work smarter, not harder. And she actually did give me a little message the other day. She gave me a message on LinkedIn, and she was telling me, Judy, I really engaged my peers. And she's like, I had so many more ideas. We had so many more, creative and innovative solutions about how to get where we wanted to go even quicker. So again, this inner alignment really does help us cut down the time that we're spending, because if we know of any one of those areas that we're not aligned, we can help make that shift. Because I don't know about you, but I know in my business, there's been times when I have just struggled so hard because I'm trying to push. Maybe I'm trying to push having a vision and the vision isn't there yet. Or I'm not really clear about why I'm doing something, and that can also just make me feel really confused. Or I end up doing things, but it doesn't feel like things are clicking, or I can't figure out, the pieces of the puzzle don't seem to be fitting together. And definitely when I don't have a clear sense as to what I'm doing and I'm kind of trying to wing it, I definitely don't feel in alignment. So again, this process is something that I use with my clients really frequently, and it's one that I would love to share with you. I actually have some notes to share with you. So if you want to go to authenticleaderslive.com, sign up for my email list. As soon as you do, I'll be able to send you an email with all of the notes about this process. And I call it the GPS process. It's goal, purpose, and steps. And it's being able to get that alignment with your mind, your body, and your soul, so that you can really be moving forward in a way that has the least amount of stress on your body. It gives you a clear sense of where you're going. And again, when you're engaging, if part of your alignment is engaging other people, it really does cut down the amount of work that you have to do. You can actually leverage and get support from other people. So I'm wondering if anybody has any questions. Well, I actually had a question from someone the other day about how this process works when you're in when you're in a huge change in your life. So the question was, Judy, how do you use the GPS, formula to get inner alignment when, you're in a major, major change? Here's the thing. You can't push a rope. And sometimes you have to be willing to be in a sacred void. So allow this to unfold, and the less you try to push it, the more ease and grace you'll have with it. Now that may be seen or heard as a little bit easier said than done, but chances are if you just relax and you can be in a sacred void, and what I mean by a sacred void is those crossroads of your life. It's that time of your life where you really don't have a clear picture. Maybe you only know, 2 inches in front of you, and that's as much information that you have. That is being in that sacred void of unknowing. And it does actually require a lot of trust. And I can tell you one other thing. Some of the most successful leaders that I know in the business world really have an ability to be very patient and be able to hold space for themselves in those times of ambiguity. Because when you go higher and higher up the ladder of success, the degree of ambiguity gets greater and greater. And you need to be the one that can really hold yourself in a place of trust and faith. So this GPS process of inner alignment really helps you go through the process, helps you diagnose when you're out of the process and when you're out of flow. And it also can just help you know that maybe if you're not in a place of clarity yet, that you just need to have that ability to stay in the ambiguity, in that place of the sacred void. So I invite you. Oh, hey, Raquel, how are you? What's up? And I also look forward to, having you message me or having you log into authenticleaderslive.com, getting some amazing information, and I'll be able to send you those notes about this process so you'll actually have them right in your inbox. So I look forward to seeing you next week on this Facebook Live, and have an amazing rest of your week. I hope it's filled with inner alignment and that you're able to get that place of flow. Have a great day. See you next week. Bye.